One of the best qualities you can have as you progress through life is to be more understanding towards people, things, situations, and everything else. When you're someone who's categorized as naturally understanding, you have a different perspective, and you tend to see things others don't. This doesn't mean that you settle for life, but that you just understand things from a different points of view. This is also why understanding people also tends to have the purest intentions and actions. So today I will be explaining to you on how you can be more understanding in life. This may help you out on your journey through life for better clarity and perspective. An understanding person knows that there are different perspectives of things, and what they see isn't the exact story. Even when it isn't always easiest for them, understanding people find it in their heart to see someone's side of things. It also means that you are sympathetic to what someone is going through, and you're trying to both feel and see things from their point of view. When someone is understanding, they also find it easy to connect with people as it's in their nature to do so. An understanding person also makes it a habit of being considerate of everyone. The most selfless things an understanding person can do is make their feelings validated. Don't always assume things. One of the worst mistakes you can make is to just assume things, even without concrete evidence. This is how people will feel misunderstood in the first place, and when that happens, your relationship or friendship will be heavily affected. You need to have an open perspective and personality when trying to be an understanding. One of the most important things you can do is be a good listener. But unfortunately, nowadays, it's rare to be a good listener in today's world because the majority would listen to respond. But it's not actually to hear what someone is saying. Not feeling heard and listened to is what causes someone to feel extremely misunderstood. So your listening skills are key to understanding someone on what they are trying to tell you. If you can't understand them, then you are just listened to come up with a perfect response. That is unfortunately not what listening is all about. You have to learn to hear between the lines on both what they're saying and what they aren't saying. That's how you'll get better at understanding someone. When it comes down to it, understanding yourself better will help you understand others as well. You need to work on understanding yourself wholeheartedly before you can even attempt to give others the same level of understanding. Otherwise, there's always going to be this wall holding you back from understanding others. If you are always hesitant to express yourself, be kind to yourself, or even feel anything in general, then how can you expect others to do the same for you? Being understanding of others is not a weakness, never forget that. Everyone has several reasons for refusing not to understand someone, whether it's the perception that it's a weakness, or just not having the knowledge to do so. Since understanding people requires a certain level of empathy and compassion, it's often seen as a weakness rather than a strength. However, you must remind yourself that we live in an already harsh world, and you don't need to be another addition to a world that sees emotions as a weakness. Understanding people will always be a strength, as you can make people feel heard when it's easy to feel alone and misunderstood. If you are ever having difficulty understanding others, realize that you always get back what you ask for, one way or another. If you've felt a lack of understanding lately, maybe it's because you haven't been understanding for others in return. They say you get back what you give to the world, and this statement is very accurate in this case. You can't expect to have something when you rob others of that same thing you want. Instead, show others what it feels like to be understood and show them you are here. This may sound like a piece of very mundane advice, but be present in listening. It's much more challenging than you think. You may think you are listening, but your mind is actually elsewhere. This is quite similar to the point of being better at listening, but it's a bit of more specific advice. Avoid drifting elsewhere when you're trying to validate someone's feelings and thoughts, because that's the fastest way to lose someone. In conclusion, I hope I was able to shed some insight or teach you everything you needed to know on how to be more understanding. When you try and understand people better, it's great reflection of your character that will leave a lasting impression on others. Because at the end of the day, if there's anything people can remember you by, let it be your understanding character.